Oh, right. I got a talking pillow. I got a beverage. I have my fan art talking wall. I'm stalling. So, at the time of recording this, it's like the 1-year anniversary of quarantine lockdowns. I don't know when I will actually get around to posting this, because I'm trying to get regular content out and scheduling is a nightmare for me. So I've been trying to record videos for months now, and it never happens because I put it off, because that's what I do. I should just fucking post it. I should just post it now. Alright, I should post it and edit it. Anyways, rambling. I guess that's what this video is for. So I kind of decided, since it's been a year and looking like a second year of no anime conventions, and I'm starting to miss my friends and all sorts of shenanigans, that maybe I'm just gonna start some videos. Like, I'm already making a video of the cosplay progress I'm doing in sort of a diary style, and I kind of thought, you know, maybe I wanna share my convention stories with people too, because I've been thinking about them, because I miss conventions, and making myself kind of sad because there's no new memories, no new stories to tell. But like, I tell this stuff to my coworkers all the time, and they seem entertaining to them, so why not? So yeah, convention stories. Where to begin? MomoCon 2019. So 2019, right before everything was shut down for 2020, was my first MomoCon. One of my old high school friends invited me. I think... So we went to MomoCon 2019, and we were gonna do MomoCon 2020, and we were gonna do MomoCon 2021. So hopefully it'll be a thing for us, cause like, this friend still lives back in North Carolina, and I'm in Florida currently, and likely gonna stay in Florida because it's fucking expensive to move, and I have a good job here. Good job. I work at a gas station, but this gas station offers health benefits and dental and vision. But that's the day job. So I'm likely gonna stay in Florida, so hopefully MomoCon becomes like an annual thing for us, because, you know, he's a really cool dude. Anyways, so he invited me to room with him at MomoCon 2019, and that is so far the biggest convention that I have ever been to. To anyone who doesn't know, MomoCon takes place in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not quite as big as one of the other conventions in Atlanta, which is Dragon Con, which I have heard the lines are ridiculous for, and I thought the lines for MomoCon were ridiculous. But it is the biggest convention I have ever been to. So, we were planning it out, and both of us not the best at planning. So we were looking at hotels, and we realized very quickly, oh shit, we have to book a hotel now, or else we're not going to get one that's in Atlanta. So we book one. It's like a mile away from the convention center, which isn't bad, or at least I think, you know, that's not so bad. I do like a mile run once a week, it's fine. You know, in comfortable running shoes, and not in heavy-ass hot cosplays, and not when I have somewhere that I need to be in 30 minutes. Well, in 10 minutes, or whatever I'm planning on. Technically, my run is even like a mile and a half, 1.5 to 1.6 miles, so hey, even better. Well, anyways, we get there, we get settled in and everything. I'm driving with another buddy of mine, another friendo, who I tend to room with a lot. They're pretty cool too. I like my friends. I miss my friends. Anyways, we get to the hotel, all excited, everything's going great. We get to our first day and getting badges, and we realize that walk is not the nicest. Especially in ill-fitting shoes because I can never find shoes in my size because I have tiny feet. But things are going great. The story specifically is about, oh, I don't remember what day it was. I think it was like Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday night because it was right before the rave. At this point, I had made and was debuting my Gay Pride Attack on Titan harness for Levi. And I had put together a ton of stuff that, you know, I wanted to be a thought. I wanted to go to the rave, and I wanted to have some fun. I'm not normally a rave kind of guy, so, you know, I just wanted to, like, I'm gonna, you know, pre-game in the hotel room, we're going to dinner, then we're gonna pre-game, then we're gonna go to this rave and have some fun and go wild, and I'm gonna see if I can like the raves. Still not really my thing, but sometimes I go, sometimes it's fun. Anyways, so me, my high school friend, and the other person I room with a lot. This person I was not rooming with at this time because they had gotten a room with someone else, or another group of people, who me and my friend ended up, you know, hanging out with a bunch over the course of the weekend. So, me, my roomie, my other friend, and this group of people that I got that, you know, we started gelling with, we're all like, okay, going to the rave, go get dinner first, because, you know, raves at night, gotta eat dinner. You gotta eat at a con, guys. I know I don't have the best track record with that, but you gotta eat, it'll keep you going. Fuel your body to fuel your fun. I'm so in love that holding this left-handed shows you all the kitty cat. So we're all trying to figure out where are we gonna eat, because for some reason it's so difficult to find decent places to eat at a convention. There's never anywhere nearby. The places that are nearby are super expensive because they're for the fancy fucking hotels in the downtown areas. And so there's nothing cheap. If it is cheap, it's crappy cheap. Like there was there was a Hooters on the mile walk between our hotel and the convention center. Yeah, there was like a Hooters and a couple of really fancy expensive places that I felt might have a dress code, which some cosplays might be a dress code, but not thought rave Levi. Anyways, someone in the group, we didn't make a group chat or anything, but I got word from someone else who I was hanging with at the time, and my other friend texted me or something, the address, and oh gosh, what was it? I was doing something, hanging with someone out on the comm floor, and was going to go back and change into Thought Levi. So, yeah, we were all going back to change into our rave stuff, which, again, a mile walk. Other people were already heading to this restaurant. That's what it was. I had to stop by the CVS, which was a really cool CVS. I had to stop by the CVS to pick up some medical tape, because I was going to open chest bind for Thought Levi, and I had left my binding tape at home in Florida, because I had thought it was in my makeup kit, and it was not. So that was a dumb move on my part, but fortunately there was a CVS, so, you know, I stopped by, I bought my tape, I went back to the hotel room, I started taping up, and again, walking a mile both ways, I had started to get really sweaty. I was thinking to myself, boy, I feel like I should take a shower before this, because, you know, I don't stink. I had deodorant on for the whole day. I, you know, had showered the night before. I don't like to shower in the morning. I like to shower before bed, so I had showered the night before. I had deodorant on. I wasn't stinking, but I had walked a mile in Georgia spring, summer heat, and I was getting a little sweaty and greasy, and I thought, I feel like I should definitely shower so that this tape will hold, but I don't have time to shower. Everyone, you know, people are texting me like, we've already gotten our food, and I'm also kind of hungry. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna tape up, and I'm gonna put everything on, and I'm gonna go. Fortunately, before I left, because I could already feel that this tape was not sticking very well. And for the record, this was my outfit that I had chosen. I should have pictures up somewhere. I don't know how to insert them into a corner, so they'll just be on the screen, I guess. Thought Levi is what I have dubbed this one. Gay Pride rainbow nylon harness webbing. Silver painted, which I need to redo because the paint didn't stick to the pleather, but silver painted pleather pieces. Booty shorts, white booty shorts. My Attack on Titan boots, and this was a very good decision on my part. I wore the boots because I did not want to walk a mile plus in heels that I had gotten that don't quite fit and are a little too large up and down hills. My Levi wig, obviously, my Yowie hat, and I don't think the picture I'm gonna choose has it because I learned my lesson, but just my Attack on Titan little half jacket, which the one that I bought does not have an actual closure. It doesn't, like, if it has buttons, it doesn't have buttonholes on the other side, but I don't think it has buttons on it. And my open chest binding with the tape that I was already like, this probably isn't gonna stick. So I was smart, and I said I have my bag because it has my wallet in it, because these booty shorts are not holding my ID and are not holding my wallet and definitely not holding my phone. There is no room in the butt pockets of these shorts. So I had my kitty bag because kitty bag is the best for all characters. And I said, just in case, I'm gonna toss my binder and my shirt for Levi in here real quick. Because I don't trust this. So I do that, and I head off on my way to walk to this restaurant. I have the address, I plug it into Google Maps, I put in the walk-in directions so that it doesn't take me, like, you know, when you walk you can go different places than you can with a car because you're not a car. You don't have to follow the roads. You can turn around, you can spin in circles, you can't do that in a car. Cars have one-way roads downtown. So I plug in these directions into Google Maps. And I guess I'll try to pull up a little Google Maps reference of the thing, because we had our hotel, and then it was a straight shot walk pretty much. But you went down by this, in order to get to the convention center, not this restaurant. So in order to get to the convention center, it was a pretty straightforward walk. You go down the street, and you go through this little park here. It's like, a lot of people did photo shoots there and whatnot, and there were also just people hanging out. You go down this little park, and you keep going, and you end up at the convention center. So the directions to this restaurant, you know, I go down a block or two, same route it would have taken me to the convention center, shows on the map, I'll take a left at some point, and my phone tells me, take a left on Peachtree, which apparently is a thing in Atlanta, that every fucking road is named Peachtree, except apparently this road. Because I'm looking at it, at the street signs, okay, so I'm on this one, I forget what the name of the road was, but I'm on this road, and this is the road it wants me to turn on, but this isn't Peachtree. This street sign does not say Peachtree. So okay, maybe, because Google Maps walking directions are really weird, I've used them before, they're not that good, it can't really tell where you are, so I say, okay, maybe it's a block down. So I keep walking a block, tells me to turn right, and I'm like, well, let me just see if this one is Peachtree. Look up, street sign, no, this is not Peachtree. Okay, so I follow the GPS, it tells me to turn right, follow it down a block, tells me to turn right again, I look at the map, the GPS is trying to take me in a circle to take me back to where it wanted me to turn. I'm like, no, that's the wrong street, I'm gonna keep going. And at this point, I'm like a block to the right of where I need to be. So I go down another block, I take a left to get back onto the main street that I now know from walking between hotel and convention center. And I end up mostly ignoring the GPS directions. I figure I'm just gonna keep going, because when my friends told me where this restaurant was, they were like, yeah, it's like, you know, a couple blocks away from the hotel. It's like on the way to the convention center. So I'm like, okay, I'll just keep going towards the convention center, and eventually Google Maps will figure out where I am, and it'll tell me where to go. So finally Google Maps does figure out where I am. I go all the way to the park. I go all the way through the park. And then at the other side of the park, it finally tells me, okay, turn left on this street. And the street it told me is the correct street. And it takes me around the outside of the park at sort of an angle. You know how sometimes downtown they have weird streets that go at angles and aren't just a grid. At an angle around the park, back to the street that it initially told me to turn on, but this time it tells me the right street name and doesn't say Peachtree. And it's not even like, oh, the map isn't updated. No, this street does not have anything related to peaches or trees in its name. I don't remember what it was, but it was not nowhere near Peachtree. Like, no way could you confuse this street name for Peachtree. But when I get back to it, and I know it's the same road because at this point in time I remember what it is. It's been a year, over a year now since I've been. So Google Maps tells me the right street name this time on the same damn street. So I'm like, okay, you actually know what street I'm on. Cool. I have walked over a mile at this point. I will remind you, Thought Levi. My Attack on Titan boots don't fit me very well. They're a little bit too big, because again, I have tiny feet, and it's difficult to find shoes in my size. So, my heels are burning, and I can feel major blisters starting to form. And also, I did not take into consideration on this walk that my harnesses are made of nylon webbing. And I am wearing booty shorts, and the thigh straps are going over my bare skin. Let me tell you a little thing about nylon webbing. Nylon is really rough and irritating on skin. My thighs are chafing. I don't normally have thigh chafe issues because I'm built like a twig. Not doing so good. So my heels are burning and my thighs are burning. And I'm hungry, and I'm mad at Google Maps, and I am super grumpy. And at this point, I'm feeling my tape start to slip. As of recording, and as of this story, I have not gotten top surgery yet. I'm trying to plan it. 2020 has been a bit of a hard time to plan elective surgeries. So at this point in time, I still have breasts. And all I am wearing, other than this tape, is a jacket that goes to about here and doesn't close. So I continue on, and Google Maps takes me out of the convention area. Like, you know, around a convention center or the hotel where it's happening, you can tell that you're still, you know, in the convention area because there's cosplayers, you know, walking to and from hotel and to and from food and doing photo shoots and just hanging out outside the convention center. You know, you can tell when you're in the convention area and when you're out of the convention area. And I am out of the convention area. The only people I see are normies. And normally that doesn't bug me, but again, my tits are starting to sag. And I'm trying to, you know, power walk here because I'm finally close to my destination. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta power walk, but I also have to not have these flaps open up and expose not only the fact that I'm open chest binding, but also the fact that it's not holding up so well. Because I don't need to walk by a cop and get arrested for public indecency. I also, you know, as I'm power walking here, I walk by this group of guys, and again, the panic sets in of, you know, I'm out and about in, you know, in cosplay. I don't normally wear very revealing clothing when I'm doing like errands or just going about in public. The only time I wear very revealing clothing outside of the house is at a convention where people know the character and, you know, there are other people wearing interesting outfits, so I'm not the only person standing out. And it's this group of guys. I also don't know how they're gendering me in their minds. Do I look like a gay dude? Or do I look like a chick to them? I don't know. And it terrifies me, because I am very clearly the center of their attention and I don't know what it's for. And I'm just thinking, oh god, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's not that I automatically assumed that these people are, you know, going to jump me, but being raised as being assumed to be female in a society that typically endangers those people, you're taught a lot about, you know, don't go out in revealing clothing. Don't hang around alone in places where people could take advantage of you. People may try to hurt you, and if they do, it could be considered to be your fault. So all of that stuff is going through my head, and when they all kind of, you know, nod at me, go, hey, and I'm like, you know, deep down, I'm like, you know, that is kind of nice. I appreciate that you like my outfit. But also, I'm alone. I don't trust myself to fight off somewhere between 3 and 5 guys if they want to do anything because they get thoughts in their head. So please don't. But, you know, I try to play it off like, yeah, that's what it's all for, isn't it? Like, that's the idea. And they're chill about it. So, thankfully no incidents there. But I keep on going, and I get to this restaurant. When I was told about the restaurant, I believe the descriptor was Korean barbecue. Like, that's a very specific term. Gives you a very specific idea of what you're going to be eating, and this was not that. This was more, you know, Chinese carry-out corner store, and I'm like, okay. And first thing I do when I get in, I go up to the counter, and, you know, I wait in line politely. I'm like, I'm sweating here because I'm so stressed out about remembering this story and the stress and embarrassment of everything that happened. That I'm like losing my train of thought. But I've been walking for like 2 miles, maybe more. Power walking through summertime, evening Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sweating my ass off. And I am so thirsty. So first thing I do when I get in, I'm like, okay, we can talk about what Korean barbecue exactly means with my friend group over here after I go up and get a cup of water. So, you know, I'm trying to be polite, you know, because again, I come in here and I'm like, oh yeah, my friends are attracting a lot of attention in here. This is, yeah. This is a Chinese restaurant. Chinese takeaway. This is a group of cosplayers of, you know, teenagers to mid-20s, kids in here in cosplay and anime stuff, and the usual clientele is definitely not cosplay kids. And the people who work here are probably thinking, these racist ass motherfuckers. And I'm thinking, oh god, they do not like that we're here. I can already tell. I haven't even gotten to the counter yet, and I can tell that this was such a bad idea. We should have just, like, we should have gone somewhere else. We should not have gone to any sort of Asian establishment outside of the convention area. This was a bad idea. They don't like that we're here. So I'm in line, and I'm trying to be really polite. Like, you know, I'm not pushing my way to the counter or anything, even though I just want to ask for a cup of water. And they finally get to me, and I'm like, first off, can I just get a glass of water? I don't remember exactly what I say, but I look like I'm sweating. I'm just like, can I please get a cup of water? And the person at the register gives me such stank eye. Like, who the fuck are you? Your friends were bad enough and you're in here half naked and you're not even gonna buy food. And I'm just like, I just need water, and then I'll decide if I want to buy food or not. I'll try to buy something from you, but I need water. And with this stank eye, and I'm also like, I don't know if they can see my chest or not. And oh god. And they give me the tiny little plastic complimentary cup. I'm just like, okay, thanks. That's not gonna fix my, gallon of water that I just sweat out, but thanks. So, I take this back to my friends sitting in a booth. It's like a really weird setup. There's like structural support beams and like through the center of the store, and there's booths around the structural support beams. Like booths with backs and everything that are pretty tall, that are like almost walls. So there's like a wall behind us. It's like overhead height, but then that's the center of the store, and then there's regular, tables with scoot-out chairs on either side. It's very, very strange, and there's, like, other booths with smaller backs along the other side. So I go to my friends in the booths in the center of the store with my cup of water, and I chug that, and I tell my friends, I'm like, I'm so dehydrated, and I don't want to go back up there and ask for more water. And thankfully someone had got a fountain drink or something, so that they were done with. It's mostly melted ice anyways. I'm drinking someone's, watered down dregs of their Mountain Dew or whatever. And, like, oh my god. Guys. I regale them with this whole story of how Google Maps completely fucked me over. And this long-ass walk I took, and how I almost got jumped by a group of guys and taken into a back alley, and anyways, that, and I'm like, so guys, my binding is coming off. I'm gonna go change, which is where I'm really, really glad that I brought my binder and my shirt, 'cause, oh my god. Oh, if I had not, that would have been an entire disaster. Because at this point in time, the tape is like, it's still technically on, but it's just free hanging. Just, free to the wind and gravity and physics. So yeah. And again, this Attack on Titan jacket does not close. If it could close, that would be fine. But it doesn't. And wind and walking and jacket flapping, I'm like, no, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna flash someone. So, I'm like, guys, I'm gonna go change. At this point, when I try to go to change, I get up, I carry my bag, thanking any deity that is looking out for me, that I brought a shirt. I brought a shirt that I can button. And I get up, I go to the restroom, and it's locked, and there's a sign that says the toilet is out of service. Wait, no. It doesn't say out of service. I don't remember. It either says out of service or it says see management for the key or something like that. I think it says see management for the key, because I go back to my group and I'm like, it's out of service, you have to ask them for the key. I don't want to go up there with all of this going on, and they gave me such a stank eye. I can tell they don't want us to be here, and I don't want to go up. So someone else offers to go up and ask for the key. That's the whole reason why I think it said, you know, see management for the key and not just out of service. So someone else goes up to ask for the key for me, like, yeah, you can't walk back to the convention or your hotel like this. And apparently, since they went up, I didn't go up, so I hear this from the person when they come back, and the person says, so the guy at the register says that you can't go in. You know, they said the toilet's out of service. And they tried to explain to him, like, they're not gonna, you know, use the toilet, they're not gonna mess anything up, someone just wants to change real quick. And they were still told, no, you can't have the key. And at this point, this is when I decide I'm fucking done. And, you know what? They want to give me the tiny-ass complimentary cup of water, you know, whatever. They don't want to give me the key to the restroom so that I cannot be, you know, half naked in their establishment, whatever. I take my shirt out of my bag, and I take off my jacket, and I put on that shirt. I just straight up strip, because the managers were kind of assholes, even though we were also kind of assholes, but most of us paid for food in there. You know, I just wanted to not be half naked in your store. And just have a cup of water, and maybe order some gyoza or something, some dumplings, so that I can eat something, but not feel like I'm gonna barf, because IBS sucks. And y'all wanted to be assholes, so no, I stripped in the middle of the store so that I could not be indecent. And that is the story of how I stripped in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm still so, like, it still gives me a... But yeah, that is my one awesome story. Like, it's full of so much residual cringe and secondhand embarrassment, I'm sure, from you guys. Again, I'm sweating just telling this story from the embarrassment. But this is the perfect kind of convention story, because, you know, it was really frustrating at the time, but no one got hurt, no one got arrested. It's got all sorts of twists and turns in it, and it's so amusing after the fact. I've told this story a couple of different times to different people, both convention people and non-convention people, and you know, it sucked at the time, and the next day, oh my god, the blisters and just the friction rash on my thighs. The blisters the next day were just awful. But after the fact, I mean, even telling the story and even stripping, making that decision to strip in the middle of the restaurant was like, this sucks, and I'm so mad about it. But it's gonna make a good story. Like, I didn't intentionally put myself into any of this. I was 100% intending to, I'm just gonna dress nice for the rave, I'm gonna enjoy some open chest binding and have some gender euphoria for a minute. I just wanna, you know, do something nice for myself, I wanna go to the rave, I wanna have fun. and it just ended up going to shit. Like, that's the best part. I didn't even choose to go to this Chinese restaurant. My friends were already all there. I'm just along for the ride. I'm just like... So, great story, at least. Being a great story makes up for the fact that it was such a shitty kind of time. But that's my story of MomoCon 2019. And if you like it, hit a thumbs up and subscribe, and you know what to do on YouTube. Gently caress the bell. And maybe I'll tell you more stories. I don't know, I may have to compile some other ones together. I thought I was gonna have to compile this one into another, like, a longer form video with multiple stories, but this one ended up being pretty long. Let me know if you like it. And I will tell you more about my convention exploits, and some of them will have video in them. I'm definitely gonna record Thick Water. I'll link to that down below when I post it. Subscribe if you want to hear about Thick Water. Anyways, see y'all next time, and I don't have a tagline yet. Ciao.